Yeah, thanks for joining me for a report on the first game of the season, Saturday, the 17th of August 2024. We lost the first game of the season. It finished Arsenal 2, Wolves 0, and the starting lineup was interesting. Jose Sarr, Matt Doherty in for the suspended Nelson Semedo, Mosquera, Totti Gomez. This was the first Wolves game without Kilman in the heart of defence for a couple of seasons. Then Rodrigo Gomez and Aït-Nouri, possibly wing backs. Joe Gomez and Lamina and Bellegarde, and up front Jurgen Strand Larsen and Hee Chan Wang. It's hard to say what kind of a result this is because not many teams came to Arsenal last season and got anything, and we don't know how Arsenal are going to play this season. We don't know if they're going to be runners-up again or champions, but you wouldn't expect many teams to come here and get anything this season. And there's things that we can pick out because the first goal, Arsenal, Kai Havertz header, he came, he jinked it over our keeper with a header. It was disappointing because the guy who crossed it, can't remember who he was, but he had loads of time, loads of space to pick out his man. Nobody came to him and closed him down. If that was schoolboy football, the manager would be very cross. So that's something we've got to look at. And we knew that it was only a question of time because Arsenal were knocking on the door before that, so it was no great surprise when they did score. Disappointing how we conceded it, but no great surprise. After that, in the first half, we had a decent chance. Wang crossed it in for Jurgen Strand Larsen, who had a glancing header and on target, and Raya saved it with one hand and went in 1-0 half time. And we had a fair bit of possession in the second half. We were competitive, and Aït-Nouri had a good shot from outside the area with his left foot just wide. But again, the second goal was a bit disappointing from a defensive point of view because Saka is a good player, yes, but he's heavily left-footed. So when you play a player against who's just heavily reliant on one foot, like we did at Molineux when we played him early this season. I went with my wife to watch that one. You should always show him to his right because we pretty much neutralised him in that game earlier in the year. And he was ineffective. All he was doing was diving and rolling around, and the crowd gave him the bird. But the defender allowed him to go on his single left foot, and he put it on target, and the goalkeeper was beaten at the near post. And whenever a goalkeeper is beaten at the near post, it's always disappointing, and needs to have a look at himself. But after that, Cunha, who came on as sub, he had a good chance. He was just outside the box, and he side-footed it when really he ought to have put his laces through it, lashed it, because it was a comfortable save for the keeper. It's almost like a back pass. It was interesting to see the substitutions who came on, the substitutes who came on. It was good to see Guedes and Podence come on. Podence, I think he scored last time we won there during lockdown in about 2020. What is happening with these guys? Are they going to stay, or are they going to be on their bikes? We don't know. It was good also to see Chiquinho come on. But it was surprised what is going to happen because the transfer window closes next week, Thursday. We've got over £90 odd million for the sale of Kilman for about over 40, and Neto for over 50, so that's 90 odd million. We've brought in Rodrigo Gomez, Tommy Doyle, and Pedro Lima. But are we going to try and sign this 18-year-old French centre half? Because we've had a couple of bids rejected for him. What about Johan Visser, who we've been heavily linked with from Brentford as a striker? I think he scored against us last season. in the away game. But these would be decent players. But what is going to happen? There's always speculation. But the next game is a home against Chelsea, which is switched from Saturday to Sunday for Sky TV. And then a couple of days after that, it's the Carabao Cup game against Burnley. But like last season, we started with away defeat, which was Man United away. But I don't think many teams will come here and get anything, because last season they beat most teams, including Man City. But it's onwards and upwards. We've got to take the positives from this game, and we've got to start getting points at home, and hopefully things will and results will get better. But thanks for listening. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and up the Wolves.